And you be sitting there trying to say, should I go to the studio or should I go to church? Do I go to the club tonight, but I know I gotta get up in the morning for church? I know I shouldn't be eating this because I'm on a diet, but if I eat this, I'm gonna gain 10 pounds. It took me a month to lose 10 pounds. You feel me? But you already, in your mind, said, don't do it, right? Now, here's the question. Our master teacher always said, go with your first thought. You hear me? But then now you go with the second thought, now you're going back and forth. Oh, now you're trying to figure out what to do. But you already know what's best for you, but you still go against it anyway. It's not you, it's the other being, and you're having a fight right now, it's a war. You just don't realize it because this is the American society. Freedom of speech, freedom of choice. If you leave this society in the hands of conscious people who say you can do what you want to do, it'll be chaos. It gotta be order. They created a lot of the religions to try to keep order. Because a lot of people didn't want to follow the culture or the traditions of their lands. You feel me? They want an easy way out. If you look at America right now, America is getting worse and worse by pop culture. There's no discipline. See, in pop culture, there's no do's and don'ts. There's a FCC, and all they tell you what you can and cannot put on TV. But the FCC are taking bribes now. Now you got people topless, they got cuss words on TV shows now. But back then, you couldn't do that back then. You hear me? They said, well, it's in the dictionary, you can say it. But it's not vulgar enough. You feel me? So now it's like there's no laws when it comes to the movie industry and the music industry. So it's like, when you go to different people's countries and you're watching how peaceful these countries are, you've been saying, you know what? These people need democracy. Hey, who's your leader? Did they send someone in? They sent in Red Cross and what's the other one? Who and Blue Shield and them. They got there. Yeah, we got medicine and we got cakes and candy and we got food and people are starving and who's in charge? Oh yeah, that's the chief. Is he a good chief? Yes, he is. Okay, we got to get rid of him. So they figure out ways to oust him. Called a coup d'etat. We get him out. They get somebody who don't like him, who's a demon, who always causes problems amongst the tribes, and they outcast him because he speaks the language fluent. He knows the ins and outs. Hey, we'll give you weapons and guns. We want you to overthrow him. And then when you get in power, we give you all this money. You can have anything you want, right? Now they oust the chief, get him in office, and guess what happened? They sign a contract. Hey, we're bringing democracy to the Congos. You hear me? America at one time had almost as equal as natural resources as Africa because it was a part of the same continent at one time. So the horses and animals were all just running from one side to the other side. But what happened with the continental drift broke off, the Caucasians ran to the New World because the New World has seasons. Africa don't have seasons like they have a wet season and a dry season. They don't have no spring, autumn, and winter time in Africa unless you're in Kilimanjaro, you know what I mean? So what happened, it was conducive for the Caucasians' condition of albinism, you know what I mean? So he went there, took the land from the Indians, kidnapped Africans, brought them in for the work, you know what I mean? And just pillaged all the natural resources out of the United States of America. Now, say if you give America back, you get it back and say, let's give America back to the niggas. How are you going to support it? Because nobody won't trade with you. You's a nigger. China won't do no trades with you. You's a nigger. Russia ain't doing no trades with you because you's a nigger. Japan definitely ain't doing no trades with you because you's a nigger. So who you going to trade with? Africa really wants to deal with you because you're a kata to them. You hear me? You's a nigger. They're like, you take a kata's like the... No. It means one whose eyes is closed from Ghanaian, but they call it cotton picker. You know what I'm saying? But it means one ignorant. You know what I'm saying? One whose eyes is closed. And what happened is this. They look at you like you had all the opportunity in the world and all you did was spend your money on jewelry, clothes, and cars and hoes. I don't want you to bring that to Africa. Because you're a nigger. From a nigger. Telling you that you're a nigger. You know what I mean? So once you get the country, right? America has no natural resources. It was destroyed in 1930s and early 1920s with the dust storm. They hit the Midwest. So all their crops were destroyed. The little farms they got couldn't support New York by itself. So this is why the United States of America goes out to different countries and overthrow them so they get their natural resources. All the foods that you're eating are imported from different places. And this is why obesity is so big in America. You're not supposed to be eating pasta. You're not from Italy. supposed to be eating pizza. You're not from China.
Pizza?
Yeah, pizza was created from Chinese. I met some teachers others years ago. You hear me? So you're eating, when you go to like Applebee's and some place like that, you go to the menu, you're looking at a world menu. French fries, hamburger, Germany. You hear me? Chicken Alfredo, Italy, rice and peas, Puerto Rico, China. You hear me? You're not even eating no African food. You're eating other food and you wonder why you got health issues. You've been here 400 years eating other people's food and look at your bodies, look at our health. People are active, lifelong members of the Vita dialysis. They go in there for like 4 or 5 times a week getting their blood in and pumped in and out. Because we're eating their foods. So if you was to take over this country again, it'll become a 4th world country. Because you ain't gonna have no resources. You can't grow nothing. You can't trade with nobody. People from there, Ethiopia and Haiti, like, you need a couple coins? You know what I mean? They look at you like, you got it better than we do. Most of the people here in America can't even operate a machine. You don't create no more because you make records. And you want to be a model. And you sell drugs. So if you were to take over, how are you going to run Chrysler and Plymouth and solar nuclear plants and stuff like that? You feel me? They can destroy all the white people and you can take over America. What can you do with it? They already tore it apart. But if you go back to Africa, they can't say, we're not going to trade with you. They'll ask you, can we do trades? China will want to do business with you. Russia, Japan, you know why? Because they get all their natural resources from Africa. You see what I'm saying? But they'll treat the American Negro like trash. Because you look at you like you don't know nothing. You got the great history and you act like the white man. You like white niggas. It's sad, but this is the truth. We still dress like them. Oh, I got on Versace, Louis Vuitton, Polo, you hear me? Coogee. Damn, do you know no dashikis? No jalabias? You hear me? No turbans, no feathers, no top bushes, no nothing, no crowns, no nothing, right? I help you, but you push these Italian cats that don't even like you because they got mixed in with you through the Moors 1,000 years ago. They hate your guts because other Europeans don't even respect them. Now y'all buying their clothes and y'all walking around, oh, this is Louis. You don't even know Coco Chanel. You don't even know Coco Chanel like niggas or not, but you rock the double C's all day. This is how they got you, under a serious spell, and they're making lots of money. I gotta give them applause, and I said, that's a good hustle. The white man can't hustle, but that's a good hustle right there. You feel what I'm saying? Any other question? You ain't hand up? You said African what? Oh, like cheque. You never heard of that before. Look at your face. What about you? You ate shrimps? You ever ate shrimps before? Have you ever ate them? How about tilapia? That's actually a new fish that, back in the day, we didn't know what tilapia was until like 10, 15 years ago. What is tilapia? That's a new fish. Huh? Yeah, I never even heard of tilapia. I heard catfish and whiting and what's the other one? Trout. We heard of those, but like tilapia, I thought it was some Japanese fish or something when I heard it back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you say African food, we get so shocked because you still eat American food. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you like bananas? You like watermelon? This is stuff the white men gave to you. I'm sorry, but this is the food the white man gave to you to make you think you're a damn savage. Yeah, eat that watermelon, nigga. Eat that banana, monkey.
It's good though.
Huh? I know it's good, but it's so sad that, like, even the stuff that tastes good is good for your body, it makes you ashamed to eat it. Sadly. Because banana got potassium and watermelon is good for flushing poisons out of your body. But you eat that watermelon, they're like, look at this picking eating that watermelon. I mean, it's just so sad. Picking it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo. And then when you try to eat the vegan, you're eating soy, it's good for women, but like niggas eat it, men eat it, we like, damn, this nigga's acting kind of soft. Somebody knock on the door, he thinking somebody breaking down the door, it's your witnesses, because you eating all that damn soy product. You hear me? Yeah. I'm like, I can't, look, listen, if you're gonna eat steak, if you're gonna eat barbecue ribs, why are you fooling yourself? Either you don't eat it or you eat it. Don't go to the store and go buy some barbecue soy pork chops. Yo, listen, somebody told me something last night that kind of messed me up real bad. I was at a restaurant, and the guy said, "Let me get a soy fish." I said, "Wait a minute now. Soy, like, chicken, you try to make it taste like chicken, like curry, soy chicken. What type of soy fish?" And then when he cut it, it looked like actual fish. I'm like, did it feed the fish soy, or did I'm trying to figure this one out. Soy fish? I'm like, listen, man, look, if I'm gonna break down like that, I might just eat the real thing. I'm not telling people that, I'm talking about me, but I'm like, if I had to go that extreme, the only reason why we gotta do that because the food is poison.
Yeah.
You hit like 45 years old, you're in the dialysis machine. Seriously, I know a lot of people. You ever get sick and feel so weak, like the flu? You know how the flu feels? You'd be so sick you couldn't get out of bed. That's how the dialysis machine feels. They take all the blood out your body. You're so weak, you almost at death, and they recycle your blood and they put it right back into your body. Because your kidneys are so messed up from the French fries and Doritos and the sodas. Because you ain't drinking no natural waters to flush your body out. You're drinking soda, chemicals. You're eating cakes from Kroger's, and you're eating chips, and you're eating chemicals. It's not even natural food that they're taking chemical. Most of them glutamate, ate it with some H1 HP, and they say, "Hey, here you go, eat that." And you just sit there eating chemicals, but sweet chemicals. You hear me? I'm gonna make this chemical. Listen, I'm gonna take this arsenic, right? I'm gonna put some sugar on it, a little honey. Some, what's the other stuff? Corn syrup, and I'm gonna hit some popcorn right here. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Huh? Oh, listen. You want to hear something crazy? Yeah, wait. You want to hear something crazy though? Go ahead.
We drink the canic soda, right?
Yeah.
Which has 6 teaspoons of sugar.
Yeah.
And we would never give our dog 6.
Because you said the dog would get sick and get worms and stuff like that. Oh, isn't that deep, dog? Who ever seen the movie called The Lost Boys back in the days?
I did.
You ever see those? Okay. You ever see Road Warriors or Mad Max and how they was dressed in the future? They look all dirty and clammy. I've been seeing these people down 5 points with the big giant backpacks, look like it haven't been washed in 15 years. They look dirty. They look like they live in the sewers, but they don't look like the homeless. They like some type of backpackers, but their clothes be real filthy, right? And they always walking with a dog, and the dog is healthy. They dig in the trash to eat, but they got a can of dog food for the dog. Open the dog can up and feed the dog, but that turn around and dig in the trash and eat up the trash. They do take care of their pets, but nigga, you starve, nigga. Hey, are you hungry, Fido? You hear me? They'll feed the dog before they feed you. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Why are Caucasians? I guess I'll wait for you.
All right, go ahead. I'm sister in the back.
Are the books also spirit?
Yeah. You see that book? Before you do that, I'd like to pass it over to my brother, Amun Ray Atun. Yes, do we have a question?
Are the books soul, spirit?
Oh, that particular book. Okay, I didn't quite hear you, but go ahead.
Verse 73, basically the whole page. I guess my question is more than one, but I have noticed that Pop's come out a lot of books that's dealing with women.
Right.
And love and how they lose their power and they whatever. And by seeing that he keeps coming out with books like that, it's got to be something that we as women are not getting. So if he keeps putting it out there, and I guess we're not waking up. So I don't want to misinterpret what he's saying. So in verse 74, he was saying that women lose their power over a male, and I don't see why a woman would want to have power over a male. I don't understand that, because I wouldn't want to do that. You know,
Right.
that sounds crazy to me.
Right.
You know?
You are actually an example of what most men want. No, for real. Seriously. You have to.
That don't feel right to me. Why would you want to have control over somebody else?
Listen, I understand that. Let me explain something to you.
Come on,
I'm gonna explain something to you that I'll put it this way. Here's an example of myself. I'm gonna put it on another level. I was down at 5 Points one time and propagating a book called Women Who Changed the Course of History. Right? Very powerful book for women. You know what I'm saying? Because it actually pinpoints different characters within women that they could either promote and, you know what I'm saying, progress in, or they could, you know what I'm saying, basically dilute themselves or ignore the fact of their ignorance and degrade themselves in one angle, basically changing the course of history. Their actions that they make can either better the world or worsen the world. All right. Now, I explained the book to one lady, stopped her, and said, yo, have you ever seen this book? She said, no. I said, well, you know what I'm saying, this book is actually explaining what I just broke down. And I said, actually, you know what I'm saying, one thing that you should know is that woman is God. She said, woman is God? What are you talking about? Women ain't no God. You know what I'm saying? It's the same mentality as saying you're African. Like, I ain't no African. It's the same ignorance. We're ignoring facts instead of basically going into the meanings of these things. That's why he's actually breaking down the anatomy of a woman, break down the anatomy of a man. He goes into the respects of them in the fact of how people play gender games, and they play gender within religion. And everything is male, 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 suppressing the woman. All right? So you never get to see the characteristic of yourself unless you have an eye of a Wu-nuwaupu, meaning an eye of right knowledge. And the right knowledge is that you see that if Adam was told to leave his mother and father and cling unto his wife and become as one, that means they gave a direction. From him, he had to go back to the woman and make himself whole. Now, they changed it where the woman leaves her family and clings unto the man, and you pick up his last name. You follow? Then there's other aspects where by the time you get down to the greatest man that walked the earth, Jesus, the Son of God, he's born through a woman called Mary. You hear nothing of her life. You only hear that she was basically taken into privacy as far as her being raised. She was raised in secrecy by a priest of Zechariah. And then she's basically ready now for this angel to come down, the spirit, to come down and take hold of her body. But it says that Gabriel went in unto her. Now, at this point, there's a lot of ignorance because the man who basically was not at home comes home and they're saying, guess who visited? Guess who came through? The angel Gabriel. And guess what? I'm pregnant. Wow, how great thou art. Nah, it ain't gonna happen like that in the Negro home. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think in the Caucasian home it's gonna happen like that. So the reality is that this is the ignorance they paint our minds with. Where this is the picture that they want us to try to live, but it doesn't make sense with us. And he's giving you the reality that all beings come from you as far as human. So you have to look at it in the sense of not degrading your man to say he's a child. But most of them do, they say baby. And the man degrades himself even more and says, I'm going to the crib. I mean, we keep going with all the ignorant slang that we use. You know? Yeah, I'm going to work for the man. So what makes you, that makes you the woman as a man. It's not degrading, you know what I'm saying, in the sense that you are a woman, but it's basically denial of your purpose in the presence of who you are, the existence of yourself. Everything exists because it has a purpose, and it's supposed to be. So he's just trying to get you to see you have your proper place in existence. Everything does. And the proper place for a man within existence, if we're going to do right knowledge, or are we going to still do the ignorance? If we're going to do right knowledge, then we have to acknowledge the reality that you give us our power. Most of the things that we do, we're doing them for she. I'm not shaving my beard so neat, you know what I'm saying, for the next nigga. You follow? You know, do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a respect factor of who you are and what you are. But it comes in also action. Just like he's getting us out of love. It's a gassy word. It's real wordy. You know what I'm saying? I love you. Okay. It's real wordy. But when it's action behind that word, then people can feel that. You might be trying to make a person think, like, you know what I'm saying, look, stop doubting what I'm doing. And if you doubt, you know what I'm saying, then look at the actions of what I'm doing, and that word does fit. But care makes him get that picture more clear. I have consideration and care for you. Instead of, I love you, and it's full of lust and deceit and, you know what I'm saying, all types of gassy things where I give you all types of tricks and treats. Here's some jewels, here's some food, you know what I'm saying, go out, eat candlelight, here's a rose, and the panties are coming off. That's the games of man of the world. But it leads us nowhere because these are the sciences that he's teaching about genetic kiss. And that leads you back to what? The reality that woman holds the mitochondria DNA, and it can be altered by the environments that you're in, the frequencies or sounds that you're listening to, the foods that you're eating. You follow? He's telling us the men are going bald mostly not because of the man. It's not a gene passed on by, it's from the woman, because she's giving birth to that man. It's the chemicals that she's putting in her body, from perms to everything else, from the foods that she eats. He's trying to get y'all back on high. Therefore, we'll be placed on high. Who's going to put us in our seat? Why would I feel that I got to provide and protect you if you call yourself bitch and hoe? Or you degrade yourself by sleeping around with more than one man? Or you're so easy. Someone says you're cute and you're pretty and you're falling and you're melting. You know what I'm saying? From the head on down to the knees, you're gone. Is that easy? We got to, you know what I'm saying, structure ourselves. That's why I said get the knowledge back in yourself. Once you have the knowledge, then you start to develop a love for yourself. And that goes with the gender, as well as the race, the nationality, the people, the ancestral. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to the Lataro. So, you know, it's not a thing of he's trying to get you to degrade your man. He's trying to get you to have a respect of yourself. When I approach you with something real. I don't approach you with some nonsense that some monkey dude out here could just tell you, and it's that easy. It's like, and nowadays, I mean, that's the statements of the street. Who can't get a woman? Who can't screw somebody? What's the next level? What's the next vibration? Don't people get tired of, let's go to the movies. Then we go get something to eat. It's the normal thing. And that's what they break down within the book of Genesis, you know what I'm saying? The food was what? Pleasing to the eye, right? Pretty. Good for food, right? Take you out to eat. What was the other one?
Good for food, pleasant to the eyes, and desire to make one wise.
And desire to make one wise. Yo, you are so smart. Then what? Now you have a baby. And he's on to the next. So that's the reasoning behind it. He has to get you back in your proper position because this was your plane of existence. He told us the best person or the best being that will have a better fight with this disagreeable evil being is the woman. This was your plane of existence. You was here first. You came out of the waters first. You're 1,000 years ahead of us in speaking and in knowledge. Do you follow?
Yes, but I'm still confused because
Uh-huh.
how does a woman know how to, I mean, with all this information that he's coming out, I mean, how would a woman know that she's actually doing what she's supposed to in her right mind on how to treat a guy without her,
Without degrading herself and
Yeah.
degrading him.
yeah, without it being like, she's so standoffish or to a point where, okay, we can't even talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of women are misinterpreting it, and I don't like that. And I don't feel good about seeing a woman with this big head. It's horrible.
Okay.
And so I just want to know how is a woman supposed to treat a man if she sees somebody she's interested in? How do you go about doing that? You know?
All right, there's different ways that you could go about doing it, but your personal experiences will be your personal experiences. But Pt.3 is the way. Pt.3 actually, you know what I'm saying? And I don't say that to say take a leap of faith. I say that to take a leap of faith. A reality within walking that path, someone has to start. Because of your mind and your concern and your care, it will be perfect for you to examine those steps and start to take them in step by step. Not take the whole book, engulf it like this is the way I live and this is what I do, and if I fall from that, then I'm going to hell. No, it's not religion. You're not damned, you know what I'm saying, for making a mistake within walking that path, because everything that made you who you are to get you to sit here right now and to listen to Pt.3 Yanun, you know what I'm saying, as far as the books and everything that he has been writing and still writing, to make it clear to you who and what you are, is a reality that those beings are your ancestors guiding you right. You're listening to some voice in you that's guiding you right to even have that type of concern and consideration. Because, of course, we are your children. But it's not to say every chance you get, you know, when it's time for me to eat, I'm going to be sitting at the table with a warm milk bottle. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm looking for. You know, the man is more so just looking for a respect factor in being himself. And what we're being guided by is not to say, shut up, you know what I'm saying, I do this, that, and the other. All it takes is explanation. Communication, exactly. That's the word, communication. We have to be on the common grounds, and the common grounds is culture. The culture keeps us in a certain bracket within the bounds of nature that are actually going to progress us to the direction of our ancestors in the positive aspect of how they lived successfully on this plane of existence and also leading us back to the other side. You follow?
Yes.
It's not a thing of a man has to talk down to you, or you have to talk down to your man. Talk with each other. If you're talking with each other, then there's overstanding, there's understanding. I understand you, but I'm not quite, you know what I'm saying, getting everything clear on this part, this, that, and the other. And if you don't know, you don't know. That's how you grow together. But when ego takes place in any situation, there's not going to be progress. See, it takes two to tango. On the part of your question of what you're asking, there's a quest. There's a journey that you have to take. There's a step that you have to take within that. You have to take the time out when whatever relationship that you may have, you may be developing, or you're just getting yourself prepared to go into a relationship. You're not going to get all of it by being single and being standoffish until you make yourself a goddess. You can only carry yourself so far, because at the point of intermingling with other human beings, then there's ma'at, there's order. And you have to walk, you know what I'm saying, in a way in which, you know what I'm saying, both can walk together. As he told us a long time ago, we were running with one leg in Islam, and, you know what I'm saying, all that. We was doing our thing. It wasn't the way which was going to make us successful. But, you know, we needed that other leg. We needed that woman. And we have to take y'all out the veils and, you know what I'm saying, let you breathe, let you exercise your minds, let you state your points and how you see things, because you do see things in different ways. And it was hard for both. It was hard for both men and women to come out that era, in that time frame. Yes?
Is there any particular reason why there don't seem to be women teaching?
Good question. No.
I want to become a very great teacher. I do. That's my desire. I used to do it a long time ago. But I just want to know why since I've been in the Wu for so many years now, it don't seem like a lot of women have the desire to actually stand up and do what you want to do, what you're doing. I just don't see that.
And it's needed.
Yeah, and it's needed, and it's sad that I just don't see it, because I know somebody else feels it.
Right, exactly.
Besides me.
Exactly, because see, know where you at right now? Know where you at? There's certain things that I just can't answer. That's the point where we're at right now. I'm not quite getting your question answered on the basis of a woman, because you're going to hear things different, you're going to see things differently. Sometimes you think with a double state of mind. You read in between the lines or over the top. And that's how people see things. As far as when women see things, you could be like, are you going to take the garbage out? Yeah, I'm going to take the garbage out. Give me a second. Oh, you want to take the garbage out when you want to take it? No, I said, just give me a second. You know what I'm saying? you follow what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, that's not what I said, but you added that in. And this is what we have to, those are things that we have to address, because it's not that we're just with the ones with a sickness. There's many sicknesses and illnesses and spells that they have placed on us. Not just on a solo basis, but on an overall basis. So when women were fighting for women's lib and all that, it had nothing to do with our situation as black folks. Because we was all being suppressed. All of us. And the Negro man was picking up the white man's mentality. And the black woman was picking up the white woman's mentality. And the black woman was saying, you ain't as good as the white man. And you gotta dress like him and look like him and act like him if you want that job. And the black man was like, hell no. I'd rather pick up cans and fix on cars and hustle before I, look like him. But see, they break us economically, spiritually, mentally, educationally, so forth. And most of the time, our women are basically seduced by that system. Where they look at, I don't need a man, all I need is Jesus. And when you go in the house, you say, where's Jesus? Jesus is a white man on the wall with long, hippie, yellow, thin fur. And you say, man, who am I? I'm the devil. And this is what the sons and daughters are thinking of that woman. Where everybody's on the mantelpiece that all that respect's supposed to go to, then you got this one dead man hanging on some wood. And they like, who is that? That's not Uncle Bill, that's not Uncle Jack. Who is he? That's Jesus. He died for your sins. You're like, I ain't even lived yet. I ain't even do nothing yet. You know, die for what sins? So they already putting you in a mentality to do evil. These are things that we have to break. It's a spell. It's a wicked spell. You know what I'm saying? But that wicked comes from weak. We have to stop being weak. One of the powers in which we lack is mind power. We have to start concentrating and focusing on what is our problems and the solutions for them. Because many of our so-called leaders mention problems, but not the solutions. So we have to get to the point of the solution. And the solution is Wu-nuwaupu. It's here. Pt.3 is the way. And the actual facts break down all the science in mentality and what we don't understand about the universe, how we were created, how different beings came about. Why are there different species? Why are there different hair textures, the eye colors? Why are there different emotions? What, you know what I'm saying? These are the things that's bothering us and getting us in the way of progression. But we can't get there, you know what I'm saying, when everything is stressful, frustration, and we're always pointing the finger at somebody else. Yeah.
One of the new Pazaraz, he said that we're emotional beings.
Yes, we are.
But as time goes by, I noticed that from things that he is saying, from things that I'm feeling, that you start to get a little less emotional. You don't react to things the way you used to.
Right?
Does that mean that you're getting less emotional? Does that mean like you're getting more? I mean, I don't know.
No. You know what I'm saying?
Does that mean you're getting more mean? Or I'm just going off what's going inside of me, because you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
I'm starting to feel the shift.
And that's where you have to start. That's being real. A lot of people have to have that heart enough, because how you going to get cured? You know, a lot of people, y'all might sit here and you might not want to ask questions. You're waiting on somebody to ask your question. But nobody can ask it the way you're going to ask it, with the emotions and everything, because I got to feel her to know where she's going. You know, and that comes a lot with a doctor. When a doctor's trying to analyze a situation and trying to see what's the symptoms, so I can give you the name of the sickness and give you the prescription that you need, all of that is needed. So a person has to be real. She's coming from her being. And the thing is that most of us, we ignore that, but it's very important. Sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself for the whole. You know what I'm saying? Not in the sense of, you know, let me blow myself up, la 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 la, boom. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Islam. I'm saying you have to put yourself on front lines to know the reality of this is a situation that is a problem with our people. When I do this, but most people are afraid to do that. They like to mention I when it comes down to I did something great. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. That's ego. But the thing is that what she's presenting is a reality that we all need to address ourselves first. Put yourself in the front seat and stop looking at, you know, pointing the finger, talking about it's somebody else or this and that. Your emotions are not lessening. Your emotions are being more controlled.
Oh, okay.
And you're letting your emotions out on things that's, things are more sensible to release that emotion on, you release it on. But, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to, because the older you get, sometimes you're going to start looking at things that's childish. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, that don't make no sense. And the older you get, that could be like 3 minutes ago, you didn't get the point, but now you do. It comes to you like that sometimes, yes.
Because last fall, in an update, he had said that we're too emotional. Like when they told us, well, you need to stop eating this, stop doing this, stop doing this. And he said, well, when we're told to not do something, we just don't do it. He said, but y'all ain't like that. Y'all controlled by your emotions. Y'all, we tell you what to do, and y'all still do otherwise.
Yeah, that's it. Obedience is something that we lack.
Because I'm reading that we're emotional beings, but then you start feeling yourself getting less emotional, so that was confusing to me. Because I'm like, if we're emotional beings, then how can you become less emotional? But I understand how you're saying it now. It makes a lot more sense.
You know what's real tripped out, even while you're speaking, something that came to mind. A lot of times, man, we look at it, we have children, and even if we don't have children, and there's teenagers or young adults or even younger people, you're looking at things where people are saying, if I tell you something, if a adult tells you something, you just do it. You don't such and such and such and such. You don't talk back. You don't do this, that, and the other. You know? But look at us as children of Natharu. And Panda Babianun is a Natharu in the flesh, here with us. And look how we combat up against him. But that's that love and that compassion, the same way you have that love and compassion for your children. You say, you ain't gonna listen, but you know what? I'm gonna have to let them go. You ain't gonna do that here. I love you, but go do your thing. Hope you don't die from it. Hope you really learn. I'm here for you when you're ready to come back. I gotta keep doing what I'm doing. So that's the reality of himself. It's not like, oh, he has to drop some lightning bolt or, you know, all the God games of the Bible and things of that sort. But it's more in respects that you are of the Natharu. So they give you time and room to grow and learn from your mistakes. But they sent an example of what a Nathar is. And no one has found fault within him as of yet. But yet and still, we still disobey. We still want to do what we want to do. We still get emotional, like I said, about things in which we're told to do. When he actually puts out a book or books to explain everything that he's asking you to do. He's saying if you want to go along with this procedure, if you want to reach this level of being this, then this is what you have to do. You have to ask yourself, do I want to do that? Do I want to be that? It's up to you. It's not up to him. He's not forcing. He's not turning and twisting no arms. He's not visiting you in your dreams, giving you nightmares, saying you better do it. It's not like that. It's just a reality. You have to learn the science of it. Last question. All right, last two questions. I'm going to get him first.
How do you know when you're no longer understood?
Good question. Good question.
Good question.
Know why?
Good question.
That's a very good question. You'll know, actually he told us, he said, when you actually, he said you'll know for yourself when it's not based upon what I have to tell you. This is on the Ma'at CD. It's not based upon what I have to tell you and you feel like you're being forced or you feel like you're being indoctrinated or, you know what I'm saying? You'll know from your inner being. The same way you know, was that food right for me? And you go step into a restaurant and say, nah, that wasn't right for me the last time, I'm not eating that. And your statements are firm, your actions are right. And you'll know because your ancestors will also be guiding you by every step of the way. You know, when they come into being of you of what, where, why, where, when, and they're answering those questions on your daily basis, you know you have that contact. And you'll know who Panabab Yanun is as well. You won't have no questions or no doubts, because question is doubting. Now, mind your questions, because, you know what I'm saying, it's the reality, he minds them. He has to sift through to say, okay, is your question a sincere question looking for the truth, or is it being skeptical and skeptical? You're skipping around trying to find fault in what is going on. You won't do that anymore. None of that will be in the picture anymore. There won't be any doubts. You'll know, and your actions will show what it is. You wouldn't have to, be dressing in any type of form other than your own. You wouldn't be dressing anybody else's culture other than your own. You won't be eating anybody else's food other than your own. But it won't be a self thing or a selfish thing. It won't be I'm out of the spell, you're not. That's your religion again. Because that'll be your thing of I'm the righteous and you're the unrighteous. And it's always the righteous saying who's unrighteous. When the unrighteous could be there to unite. But you'll know. No one else will be able to tell you except the one who's here to break the spell. Because it's been so long since we've been out of the spell to even know how far it goes. But he said 76 trillion years of knowledge is what he has to give us. Last question.
Yeah, I understand that emotions are energies in motion. My question is, are energies also chemicals? Because you can't feel certain emotions without certain chemicals in your body, like estrogen, testosterone, certain things like that.
Okay, and that's very important. A lot of those, yeah, it works hand in hand, but it also works with charges of energy as well, negatives and positives, protons and electrons. And those charges of energies are electrical impulses, which actually deal with thoughts. And those thoughts are also already inherited within your mind through your DNA that sit waiting within your body, you know what I'm saying, and within your brain, you know what I'm saying, waiting for certain energies to spark. And those waves and those energies are being sent from the sun through your pupil to charge your body. And that's by way of your spirit. That's why they can have commercials like Sprite. I like the Sprite in you, which is actually, if you change the word around, spirit. All right? And people say, man, he's in a good spirit today. you know, or they go to an alcohol store and it's, you know, it's called spirits. You follow? So that's just on negatives and positives of that. And also I can come and I can be talking to you and I boo, 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 and I charge you up. With those thoughts, those sparks, that's life. I'm giving you life, energy, it's light. You know what I'm saying? Those sounds, those tones, vibrations. How is the sound, you know what I'm saying? It sparks, it's clashing, bangs, big bangs, DNA explosions. And that DNA explosion is basically one DNA going into the next. And identifying and making connection with your ancestors. That's the DNA explosions. And you're going far back as 76 trillion years. And it gets more interesting and more interesting, you get what I'm saying? And this is the journey within. They say a long walk on a short path. Where you'll actually go through all these religions and indoctrinations within a short amount of time. But for others, it would take a lifetime for them to learn. Because your genes is already pre-encoded. And this was a genetic agreement that was made to you. You can refer back to Man from Planet Risk for that, and also genetic kits. And with that, I'd like to end the class. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Drive safe. Drive like a thorough.